Right, so I'm sorry I'm a little late. Just that I only got these documents when I came out of my meeting, so I had to quickly go through them. Thanks for that. I see that you've amended the draft order as well. Just two queries. I haven't had time to go and check that the amounts in your payment slips actually tally with the amount in your draft order. I hope you've done so.
Yes, I have. Justice Naidu, and they do tally. That amount is correct to the last cent.
Good.
And then just also to clarify, in the schedule that we had annexed to Mr. van Rensburg's affidavit, there were two amounts for Colin Carnivitz, for Carnivitz FC.
What page is that?
The legal fees paid is on page 004-66.
66. Yes, I'm there.
So, Advocate Carnivitz appears twice. He appears under the pre-disciplinary investigation heading, as well as the urgent labour court heading.
Yeah.
So we've just put them together, but we have indicated both amounts.
Okay.
In the schedule.
The amount reflected in Mr. Avenant's affidavit would take account of both of those, right?
Yes, and the total of all of the invoices correlates with the amount in Mr. van Rensburg's annexure, the 443107.887, and also correlates with the individual invoices which have now been placed before court.
Yes, I've seen, as I said, I've seen them. I just haven't had time to total up the amounts to make sure that they come to this 443107.887, but you've done that.
We've done that.
Good. Then I'm happy with the settlement story. I've seen the delegation of authority. With regard to Ms. Magoda as the chief director, I'm not even sure which department she was heading, but she would be the accounting officer for that department. Is that correct?
No, the accounting officer for the department is usually the director general or the acting director general.
Okay, and because I'm just looking at where would her part, because you're saying that she acted unlawfully, which part of this document that was attached? There's lots of, if you look from page, I think.
The court would need to look at the management of loss, and there are three potential headings which would cover the unlawfulness of this delegation. Just firstly, at page 0535, Justice Naidu will note.
You see, I don't have the case lines numbers here. So unfortunately, because apparently this was hand delivered. Let me just go to the page. Right, it's B828. And it starts at page 1 of 32. So which page of those?
Page 1 of 32.
Yes.
Justice Naidu will note that the date of this document is 21 June 2018, so it predates the settlement.
Right.
And then the relevant part of the delegations is at the end of the document under the heading Management of Losses, and it would be at starts at 28 of page 32.
Right.
And then in Mr. Avignan's affidavit, we point out the various items that this could fall under. The first one would be 3, where the power is to grant written approval to the state attorney to obligate funds of the department. The state attorney was involved in the settlement, which was made in order of court in this matter, and the amount in it was I think it was just over $1 million or just under $1 million, and then the 10,000 rands interest. So it's above the 25,001 rand
Yeah.
for which the director,
250,000.
sorry, the 250,001, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Justice Naidu, for which the Director General would have had to have signed approval. And then also, in 4, you would require the Director General for 250,001 and above to approve settlement offers made to the department. That one probably doesn't apply, but certainly a claim by an employee against the department, 50,000 and above. So this matter could potentially have fallen within either of these. The fact of the matter is that that settlement required the signature of the Director General, which we don't have. And then just insofar as the name of the Director General, at the time that this was approved, it was a Ms. R. Siddiqui. That appears from the foot of each page.
Acting Director General. That I'm happy with. The settlement in terms of management of losses, I'm happy with. I'm just trying to establish Ms. Magoda's authority and how she went beyond that. And I there's a whole schedule of departments and so on, starting on. Let's just see, where does this start? It starts on page 9 of 32, appropriation and delegation for program and responsibility managers. And I'm imagining that Ms. Magoda, her position would be somewhere here.
Ms. Magoda's position, Ms. Magoda wasn't there at the time of the delegations, my lady. She was suspended in terms of the findings of the disciplinary committee.
Okay. Because they must have based their findings on something, that she breached something in order for her to be found guilty. And that's something that I'm looking for. What would that be?
Her guilt is addressed in the report of the disciplinary officer.
Which is where?
It's not before the court in this matter, but we do deal with the fact that there were charges brought against her.
She was found the affidavit, yes. I've seen
found
that.
Guilty on. She was discharged on 2 and found guilty on the others, and the sanction that was imposed was instant dismissal. I am in possession of the disciplinary findings, both the merits and the sanction, which we can place before court. We just didn't want to overburden the court with common cause facts.
But that is in line, your affidavit then would be in line with those findings, am I correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. Yes, may continue.
Just insofar as Ms. Magoda's wrongdoing is concerned, that related to the fact that the Big Five was not registered at the time of the caretaker agreement. Their registration only happened a couple of weeks later. The caretaker, they were also not in line. They were not part of the 15 beneficiaries for Navanda. And then the circumstances under which they got the farm is sketched in our papers, my lady. And that's where her unlawful conduct starts and then continues, because there's further caretaker agreements with Big Five. Culminating
after they had a beneficiary agreement, after they were appointed beneficiaries.
Well, they never ever went through the beneficiary process. That's the problem.
Whichever way, they
were given the farm.
Yeah.
Without following the formal processes, and that's the reason that Ms. Magoda was found guilty in the disciplinary inquiry and instantly dismissed.
Right, but that was 2015, and then you have a caretaker agreement for the same company going into 2018, I think it was, which again was irregular, was it not?
No, the last of the caretaker agreements with the Big Five was, I think, in 2014, 2015. If I can just find.
Yeah, and they were appointed in 2013. Let me just, I've got it.
The first caretaker agreement, with them was in December 2012.
Yes.
Until May of, I think, 2013. That your ladyship will find on page 01-15, paragraph 33.12. And then the further caretaker agreement was concluded on 1 September 2014 to 31 May 2015.
Yes, my point exactly. And they were then given the farm, as you say, or let's just say they were then their beneficiary agreement or whatever that was. They got the farm in 2013.
Correct. On the 25th of July, 2013.
But then we had much after that another caretaker agreement.
That's correct.
That's my query. Therein lies the wrongdoing, because that if a farm has already been allocated to a beneficiary, why do you still appoint them caretakers?
Correct. That's correct, my lady. So, all of this wrongdoing is addressed in our papers. I'm not sure if the court requires me to.
No.
Thank you.
I've been through it, and those were the queries that popped out from there. But you've basically covered it in the supplementary affidavits that have now been filed.
Yes.
And then this additional point with regard to Magoda's breach of her duty, I'm happy with that. Okay. Thank you. Right. Is there anything further you wish to add, Ms. Williams?
Not unless the court wishes, the tribunal wishes to hear me on anything. A new draft order has been placed before court.
I see.
Paragraph 1 has been amended following the court's the reservations expressed by the court on Monday pertaining to the amount. We've also, for the sake of good order, put something before the court, Annexure BA1 to Mr. Avignon's affidavit, which deals with the difficulty with quantification. And I have explained to the SIU that they need to do a breakdown of each of these different heads of damages and get the necessary person on board to place adequate proof before court of the actual amount.
Well, then perhaps what we should add in paragraph 2 is, on papers duly supplemented if necessary.
Thank you, my lady. I think that will be required. It should go in, then the plaintiff shall be entitled to apply for judgment on papers duly supplemented if necessary.
Well, you've said they'll apply for judgment in the said amount against those, and I said the plaintiff shall be entitled to supplement its papers if necessary.
That's in order. Thank you, milady.
Okay, that is the only thing I've added there. All right, other than that, I take it you seek an order then, or seek orders in terms of the draft order.
That is correct, milady.
All right, I've marked the draft order as amended with an X just to identify it, and I've signed and dated it. And then I've just to repeat the addition to prayer 2 in respect of claim B. I've added the sentence at the end, the plaintiff shall be entitled to supplement its papers if necessary.
Indebted to your ladyship.
Other than that, I grant an order in terms of this amended draft order, and I've dated it today's date.
Thank you, milady. Indebted to the tribunal.
Thank you. That is, I think, concludes our business. Thank you for your efforts in bringing to my attention the additional documents and information that I needed. Thank you so much, Ms. Williams. I think we can, I'm not sure, I'm sure Ms. Mashitisho will contact me with the logistics. I suppose I will have to send the amended draft order to her so she can properly type them out and so on. And thank you for your efforts and all your hard work.
Thank you very much, milady.
Thank you. We'll take the adjournment now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.